Welcome to the Monday, April 19th, 2018 meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission. First item, roll call. Tim Gilbert, Chair. Sid Bremer, Vice Chair.
Present.
Alderman Dave Nennig. Here. Lisa Hanson.
Has to be excused?
Excused.
Yes.
Jacob Miller. Here. Randall Petrovsky.
Here.
Jerry Wisbicki. Here. Approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda approved. Approval of the minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. New business. Consideration with possible action on the request to close the unimproved portion of Dorothy Street to public traffic submitted by Dennis Hecker, property owner.
Thank you. The area that's on the looking is on the east side, which is by the new fast foods development, which was in this portion of the University Avenue corridor. Dorothy Street right now is improved to about this section of the roadway. The rest of this is still right of way, but is unimproved portion. This is the JBS site that's been before the Plan Commission, and this is Mr. Hecker's new multifamily development that was approved a couple months ago at Plan Commission. So we're looking at now, there was originally a request to vacate that portion of the street, so the unimproved portion would be completely vacated, which would put half of the property towards Mr. Hecker's property, the other half to the JBS site. After discussions with the property owners and then also the other departments who are involved, we decided that street closure would probably be best. The reason for that is that this right now is public access till about here, and then the Bear Creek Trailway is down here. So there's eventually going to be a connection of a trail somewhere in this area here from there's kind of like a goat's path that goes down to the actual paved trail that's down here. But right now, a lot of people do still use it where they park on Dorothy, walk down through that portion of the right-of-way, and then use that. So the Parks Department would like to retain some portion of that to be able to have a connection to the trail. Along with that, the Department of Public Works had some issues with the grading that was there, how the connection would be for the apartment complex. So they are proposing to do a private drive through that closure area. So to be close to public traffic at the end of the improvement area, this would have the private drive into the development and then also a note for the sidewalk that would connect eventually to a trail system down here. So we have been in discussion with the property owner as well as Parks about how that would work out. Basically, they just need a condition for the grading, which I've handed out to you. I got that late, so it's not in your staff report. So that the grading can be appropriate at the time that the road is developed. Also assuring that the city would be the entity that would pay for the installation of that sidewalk or trail, however it gets proposed. Through discussion, we did have the initial condition 1, that the developer would be required to acquire additional right-of-way to construct a full-grade cul-de-sac for a turnaround point. So that would have to be in this area here somewhere. As you can see, there is not additional right-of-way space right now. So the right-of-way goes straight through. He would either have to acquire it from the city and build it forward somehow, even though he does not own parts of these property and also does not own to the JBS site. So he's in discussion with the Department of Public Works now, which he can probably detail a little bit further, but staff would be comfortable with the recommendation to change condition 1 to not read the installation of a cul-de-sac, that they would just have to come up with some sort of an agreement with the Department of Public Works for a turnaround for their equipment. A cul-de-sac might be overkill in this, considering that the road has functioned like this for a number of years, and that there would not be any additional development going that way because of Bear Creek. So that would be up to you guys to decide if you want to go the cul-de-sac route and go with DPW's recommendation, or if you just wanted to say that DPW and the petitioner would need to have some sort of agreement for a turnaround location. Condition 2 would still be upheld, basically saying that maintenance is going to be agreed upon ahead of time of the closure. And then the third condition would then be from our Parks Department, which you have in front of you, about the requirements for the grading. So with all that in mind, we are recommending approval of the request, either with the conditions as they stand with the addition of the Parks one, or if you would like to change condition number 1, you can have a discussion with the developer about that.
Any
Yep.
Can we still ask questions at this point in time, too?
You can ask me questions right now until you open the floor.
Pardon me?
You can ask me questions until you open the floor.
Oh, okay. I was just curious, for where that's terminated, is there gonna be adequate space provided for snow removal and things like that?
I think that's why they want the full cul-de-sac, so that way there can be a turn of the
Okay.
equipment.
Yeah.
But right now, they don't have that, and they seem to be making do. So I'm not sure if it's a snow storage or if it's the turnaround necessary that the DPW is looking for. We didn't get any further information about that.
Okay,
But that doesn't mean that that can't also be worked out through an agreement, because we'll already have an agreement with them with the closure to dictate any sort of easements that we need for the private drive and for the sidewalk area.
okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
I guess I would move to suspend the rules to hear from interested parties if there are people that want to speak on this.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rule. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any
Do
interested
you have
parties?
questions for the developer, Jim?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. If I could ask Mr. Hecker, you've seen the conditions, what are your thoughts on that?
I think a cul-de-sac would be, I think a cul-de-sac, using Steph's words, overkill. I don't know if there's enough room on the grading to do what they would like. The cul-de-sac would be at a heck of an angle, and I don't know how much room is up there for a cul-de-sac. That's probably why there isn't one right now, or for the last 20-some years. I talked with Jim at DPW today. His supervisor was gonna get back to me. That hasn't happened yet, so we're still discussing it.
But
Could
you
we
are agreeable
approve the
to
recommend-
doing the construction, whatever.
I'm agreeable to talk about it.
Okay.
Could we approve the recommendations, and if there's another option, have it come back to the commission for further action, or what would be the way to handle this?
You would be able to do that if you want to approve it as is, and then if there's a change, but then that also just, if the cul-de-sac option doesn't work out, this kind of gets brought back through the whole process again. I think that time might be a concern for Mr. Hacker.
Okay.
Or we could approve it with a revised item one.
Or you could say with the cul-de-sac or an agreeable option between the property owner.
Ta-da.
Right.
I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so whatever language you guys
I
are
like
most
that too.
comfortable with.
Time is of the essence. I've been burning up a lot of it.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Otherwise, the chair would entertain a motion.
I move to accept the recommendation of staff, complete with the additional wording that Stephanie just provided. Or
Second.
agreeable option.
Can we close the floor first?
We need to close the floor.
Oh, close vote. I'll move that too.
Okay, we'll do a second to close the floor.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And now,
I move approval of the recommendation from the staff, including the addition of or an agreed upon alternative.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the request with staff's recommendation with the revised first item and including the item number 3, the grading. Any further discussion on that? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the recommendation?
Aye.
signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next is informational.
So for the first item on informational, this was to note that we did receive the vacation request initially, and that's been rescinded. So since it was in the system, we have to let you know that was been withdrawn. So we just need to receive and place that on file.
Oh, okay.
So do we have a motion to receive and place on file?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to remove and place on file, item A under informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so moved. Item B, Civic Clerk Meeting Software Training Update.
So as you can see, there are a plethora of people here to try to help us run this meeting today. The city just invested in some new software, which is called Civic Clerk, which is a parent, or I think it's a parent under the Civic Plus?
Child.
Civic, yes, a child. Civic Plus is a child, okay. So our new website is kind of linked with this new software. So with that, we will have a meeting manager where we will be basically doing our minutes and agendas all electronically at this point. So for you guys, it doesn't change a lot. At the next meeting, you will have tablets in front of you, and that's how you'll join our meeting, and that's also how you will vote on these items. So for things like the agenda and the minutes, we'll still just do voice votes like we usually do. But then when it comes to like a design review, you would be prompted to vote on your screens. That would be know how each person is voting. So realistically, it doesn't change a lot for you, except for with the addition of some things on your agenda that you've seen. We usually don't do a roll call, we usually don't approve our agenda. So that's just gonna be a formality to keep all the meetings within City Hall kind of running the same. So I did hand out this little cheat sheet. It's mostly for chair purposes, but also just to let you guys know what we'll be expecting, that we'll be doing this with every meeting. And then also to be sure that when we're doing new business, like Sid had said, we're gonna do this with staff recommendation, with these amendments, so that way we have that all captured with our minutes. But beyond that, it should run pretty much the same for you guys. They will be sending out an email letting you know that there's some training videos that you can watch, but mostly it's just, you'll be logging into the Civic Clerk system, you'll be doing your votes on your own, and then from there, that's pretty much it. You are able to use your own devices. They don't work all that well on cell phones, so if you had a laptop that you wanted to bring with, you could do that. If not, we will have tablets available for all of your meetings.
I think one of the things that will be important is that when we load everything up into the system, all the, agenda items, the supplemental materials, the reports, the maps, all those types of things, when those get put together in the electronic packet, those will get sent to you, but you'll get a notification from Civic Clerk. So normally you get these from Jesse. Jesse would be sending these out, but now it'll be actually Civic Clerk sending these to you, and Civic Clerk will send you a new message that says, you're, a Plan Commission member, your packet is now available, click here, and it will take you to the packet. So I think it's just important as we get going, just to make sure that it doesn't go in your spam, or doesn't go in your bulk mail folder. Just, you wanna make sure that that's on your safe sender, because that's how you'll be getting notified with that. Even if you don't get a notification, generally after we send these out on Friday, anytime over the weekend, you can just log in to Civic Clerk and the stuff will be there. You don't have to follow that specific link. As a Plan Commission member, you'll have access to all the Plan Commission agendas and minutes. Well, the nice thing about this system is it's building an archive for us. So if you want to go through and go find out, basically starting today, and in 6 months from now, you want to go back and see what we talked about, or go back to this meeting, you'll also have access to that now. So you don't have to keep a big stack of papers and files, and everything's very searchable. So it'll be easy to do that. It'll be a repository, for you and for us to go back into.
So we will no longer be receiving paper in the mail?
That is
Or
correct.
would we be able to print this off? Or will we not need to?
It's up to you, and I think you can, what we had planned to do is at every meeting, we will still provide printed copies of agendas. I think we, in terms of being able for the public, and I think that's what we talked about, just with our staff, our department, to provide some agendas so the public can follow along, and then if somebody wants to jot some notes down, they can. Otherwise, as far as the meeting packet items,
Yep.
you can either print them out at home, you can either, like Stephanie said, bring your own device, and if you want to look at them, I'll follow along on my laptop here, or on the tablets, they'll also be able to pull them up on your tablet as you go along. And basically just being having your device here or laptop
Okay,
here.
so it'll be electronic.
It'll be electronic,
We don't
so you
need
can
tablets.
pull it up as you go along
Yep.
here and just, I'm looking at, the maps and the packet
Yep, yep.
right here.
Yep.
If you want to print something off at home because you wrote on it and want to bring it in, you can do that, but you'll have access to all that right here,
Okay.
either through your own
So
device
if we
or
get a
the-
packet that Chase text like they are sometimes, we wouldn't need to print those off.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Something else with that, we are just trying to go paperless with this, so we're not doing sign-in sheets anymore. So when they come in, they don't have to come sign in with staff. Basically, as you go through an item, you'd want to open up the floor, ask any interested parties to come stand at the podium. It's kind of a first come, first serve. Ask them to state their name, their address,
Which
then
we
it's on
do anyway.
public record, and we can enter it in the system that way. So we're trying to just get rid of the paper
Sure.
part of the meetings.
Does the Civic Clerk software have an editing function for making notes on the Civic Clerk when we get the agenda?
Yes.
You can take your own notes, and it's all logged within your own account. So you all have your own individual accounts, and you can take notes, and they're private to only you.
Okay, what I'm asking is, how do you take the notes?
Yep, there will be a tab on there, and once you watch the training videos, you'll see, and it's pretty,
Okay,
Easy to
so
use,
we're going to
yeah.
be getting a training video as well.
yes.
Thank you.
Now, will the tablets remain here? Or
Yep.
do they remain here?
Yep, every meeting room will have its own set of tablets.
Okay.
So yeah, if you bring your own device, you can do that.
If you
Otherwise,
wish,
there will
otherwise.
be something here available all the time, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing that we don't usually do is for all informational items now, we need to receive and place them all on file. So for everything that you see under informational, you'll need to make a motion for that,
Such as
including this,
such as
yes.
this discussion.
Don't forget your passwords. We won't have them.
Okay,
And we can't reset them, right? I think
probably not.
Not quickly. yeah.
not quickly. Let's put it that way. We won't be able to do it at the meeting.
Okay. Anything further on this? Yes.
Where do we get this password? Did I miss something?
When we get the tablets next meeting, I'm assuming we'll have to come up with our own password.
Okay, well, if you send the agenda to us electronically, and I can receive that and put it on my iPad, do I need a password to get into my own or into that material, or?
Yeah, when will they be getting their information?
Through passwords. I believe next meeting date, when we have the tablets available for everyone, and then,
Then how would they get their packet ahead of time?
We'll probably need to send them the note on Friday when it's in the packet.
maybe for the next meeting, we'll still email the PDFs out. Otherwise, I could.
With our passwords on? No.
We can do it in a separate.
Well, I think one of the keys here is that you will be voting through your tablets, so if you bring your own, you have to somehow sign into the system.
Yes,
And it's-
everybody will have their own individual login. See, when we're doing this, like Paul's logged in as himself right now, not like the planning department, so.
So for our own information, it sounds better to me for my information, to review it and everything, and put it on my iPad, and when I come here, I'd be better off using the tablet.
It's all web-based.
Pardon?
It's all web-based, so you just go to a website and log in, so you can log in on your iPad.
Okay.
The chair would entertain a motion to receive and place on file if there's no further discussion.
Make motion to see the place on file.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and place on file the training update. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Update received. Item C, Director's Report.
All right. At our last council meeting, no ordinances for third reading, but the items in the report were all approved. And those will go through the cycle for their ordinances, and that was amending the PUD for 123 North Oakland, starting the process to rezone the properties on East Mason, that's for the Gobin project, issuing the CUP for 159 North Maple, that's the Pickle House project, and then granting a variance for Lincoln 10 North Quincy, that is the US Venture property in terms of creating a flag-shaped lot, so all those went through. Okay,
thank you.
Sure.
Can we receive you in place of you?
We-
You may,
Yes.
yes.
I so move.
We have a motion to receive and place on file. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and place on file. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Report is carried. Next meeting date, April 23rd, 2018. No vote or motion needed on that. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Barb, aren't you glad you got to come to such an exciting meeting?
It was really exciting. I never need to go to plant, because production welfare usually lasts too long.